We're going to sing him happy birthday. And by the way, everybody, yeah, it's all perspective, isn't it?
Right. I'd go back to 71 in a minute.
Well, I'll be there in a minute.
Well, yeah, it happens about like that in a minute. Well, for those of you who are joining in on YouTube, this is Energized Living Today, and I'm Cindy Kubika, and we have our soul gang with us, and we also have special guest, Lorelei Robbins. She's our spiritual astrologer, and our birthday boy, Farris Poole. He's the producer and my sidekick. And Farris and I have known each other since 1990. That's when we started working together. We became business partners in 1992. So we have been together for a very long time. I just barely tolerate him, but you know, I'll deal with it. No, I'm kidding.
Especially when you have tech issues.
We actually are best friends along with being business partners. So it's been a long journey, and I felt the same way when I met Lorelei. We were instant friends, and it's just, you know, there's just some people that are your soulmates. You know that you know them, even if you've never met them in this lifetime. And that happened to me with both of these beautiful souls. So I want to thank all of you for being here. And everybody, Farris, you want to unmute everybody?
Okay.
Okay, Mary, lead the way.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Farris. Happy birthday to you. And Lorelei got
balloons.
And Lorelei brought balloons.
That's what I said. That's great. Birthday. Love it, Lorelei. Oh, this
you know how the Aquarians are. We're a little on that edge, right, Farris?
Airy.
Yeah.
A little airy.
And Mary, when is your birthday?
February 8th.
It's the 8th. Okay, I was thinking it was February.
Yep.
And who else do we have on the line that is an Aquarian?
Well, Anne has an Aquarius moon.
Who does?
Anne. It's the moon, right, Anne?
Oh, Anne.
Moon, yeah.
Yeah. So you're coming up on your new moon, the new moon in Aquarius on Friday. That's so releasing the whole last year.
Oh, I'd be glad to. I just can't. I had a wonderful session with somebody today, and I'm willing to live now. I can get peace in this body. I don't have to die to get peace.
Wow, that's quite an
It was really big, because I had a very limited view as to where I could get the peace I have when I'm asleep and the mind's not scattering. And so we opened it all up. We took that closed door, we opened it up. So now I can be excited about being here, and I don't have to leave to be happy.
What a whole different mindset than.
Wow.
No kidding.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, because I kept going to bed at night wishing to not wake up in the morning.
Right.
That wasn't really what I wanted. I just didn't want to wake up in the state I was in.
Right. Wow.
Oh, happy to hear that.
That is.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to share that today.
That's your personal experience, but what you just shared could apply to anybody now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we all have this opportunity at the end of this Capricorn lunar cycle that began on December 26th to leave behind anything that has defined us. Anything. It's not just a person or a job. That construct defined you.
That was the whole thing I worked on in the shadow group and
Absolutely.
everything. I've been working on it for a long time, but I was barking up the wrong tree.
Well, you were barking up the tree that was perfect for the time, because it's all in divine timing. If we can surrender to that and go, well, I want this to happen now, but maybe now's not the time. So
that's good. She's
right?
married. Wow.
Wow, Anne, that's really,
Yeah.
you look, doesn't she look totally different, Cindy?
I
She
even
does.
put on a little makeup. I haven't worn that in a year.
Well, if you're not going to die, you might as well make yourself up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can choose one way or the other, but it feels good to be a choice.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you know what really feels good to me for you about that is what you just shared really allows you to embrace the Leo part of you, the part of you that is childlike, the part of you that is innocent, the part of you that is in wonder. That's not all of you, but that's one of your characters. And I just felt that so freed up by what you just shared.
Leo is what my partner is, Rudy.
Yeah, let me put you in. I can't remember what it is. Hold on one second. Let me go look.
I don't know that I have Leo. I have.
Yeah, you have some. I think it's Venus. I'm not. Hold on. I haven't looked at your chart in a while, so let me see.
Okay.
And by the way, I want to say happy birthday to all of you. And Mary, I know that you can feel this big hug coming your way, even though I won't get to see you on your birthday. I know that you'll feel my love.
Thank you. I do. Oh, I do.
So
Thank you
there.
so much. So there.
Yeah, it's Venus, Anne. You have Venus is what we love, what we value, what brings us pleasure, which is joy, which is the child. So what you just shared just felt so innocent. It felt so childlike.
Yeah, it feels very freeing. I feel
Oh,
free.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I can see why you and Mary are good friends, because you've got a sun-moon connection. She's an Aquarian, you're an Aquarius moon. Sun-moon is a beautiful, just an ease, a flow. I mean, it's all about potential. We have to use it, obviously,
Yeah.
but a sun-moon is probably an easy and really natural flow between two people.
Yeah, she really gets me, and she's been very supportive in this trip. And I knew she would be happy to hear this. And I was so tempted to call you, Mary, but I thought, well, I'll just wait and share it with you.
Oh, this is so
So tickled. Oh,
Yeah.
and this hug's for you.
yes. Hug all
Let's
of
do
us.
group hug, everybody. Everybody group hug. This is so good.
To hear you say this, Anne, is probably the greatest gift that I could receive for my birthday. It's like I know how much you've wished for this, and it's to hear you say it. Oh, I am so happy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Well, as we continue, I want to go ahead and have Lorelei talk about what's going on, because one of the reasons, of course, I wanted her to be here, because for all the Aquarians out there, we want to know what the cosmic weather is. We want to know what the cosmic weather is for all of us, but also is it the 30th or 31st? I can't remember.
Oh, on my virtual playground for the soul is the third. I've one on the 30th and one on February 12th.
Okay, she's got two coming up. So if you can't get into the one that's coming up on the 30th, then on the 12th is another one, Playground for the Soul. This is an online program that you can do, which is amazing. And Lorelei's going to talk about that more in just a little bit, but I want to make sure that we get a link for everybody. If you can send us the link, Lorelei, and then
should I send it to Energy Coach?
Yeah, or send it to Farris.
I'll send it to Farris.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Farris can put it in there. But let's talk about Farris for just a moment. And since today is his birthday.
Yes, let's.
And by the way, I got to tell you, the other day he was out, we had that flood over the holidays. And so he was getting some stuff to repair the downstairs, and he was at the store, and he had my ATM card, and it says, check ID. And he said, I know that he's not Cindy, so I'm calling you to make sure it's okay if he uses your card. And I said, yeah, he's a old man.
No, you didn't. That's not what you said.
What did I say?
You said an old fart.
Oh, okay. That's right. He's an old fart that's 5'5" with a really cool hat. And the guy just he said, yep, that's him. Hey, we can say that to each other because it's in love.
Y'all, it was worth it to watch the guy sitting next to him who was trying to pretend he wasn't paying attention.
I loved it. It was so fun. So anyways, I just wanted to say that. And I do say that to Farris very lovingly. We pick on each other all the time in love.
Well, first of all, you're starting your new year at the end of a lunar cycle. So while it's a new year, this would be a year, let me say it without any language, and then I'll tell you why I'm saying it. That part of you that is conventional and conservative, the part of you that is, the military, that's all part of that. You know, somebody else's rules, who's the authority, who's the author. And then this other part of you that is eccentric and outside the box and one of a kind and all the things that Aquarius is. There's an opportunity this year to let go of where there's still any old judgments or constructs or I should, or I need permission. I mean, Aquarius doesn't ask permission of anyone. It's kind of Aquarius energy just shows up. This, you know, if we just isolate Aquarius, like Mary, you are an Aquarian, Anne has an Aquarius moon, but any Aquarius energy wants to shock in a sense. It wants to make a statement of I'm an individual. However, Farris, you also have this not individual energy. In other words, I have to obey somebody else's rules and regulations. So you're having an opportunity to renegotiate a whole contract. I mean, renegotiate your contract with the universe around what defines you, who's the authority, claiming more authority for yourself, you know, giving yourself more permission to be weird. So, you know, like really almost like wrestling with the conservative, conventional, serious, reserved side of you and the ingenious, inventive, innovative, outside the box part of you. And so it would be growing beyond how you've defined yourself, whatever that means. And since what I'm talking about is that you're having a Jupiter return. Jupiter in the chart is the planet of the meaning and purpose of life and the contract with God and the universe. And you have Jupiter in Capricorn. Well, again, at the highest level that I like to speak of Capricorn, other than just achievement, accomplishment, success, it is all of that on one's own terms. It's the Martin Luther King quote, who was a Capricorn with Aquarius energy. The use me God, show me how to take who I am, who I can be, who I want to be, and what I can do and use it for a purpose greater than myself. So if you hung out just in that in this new year of, you know, wanting to step up for duty, but the duty's not the military, the duty's not anything on the outer that's ever defined you, because you're not a Capricorn. That's not your conscious identity. Your conscious identity is Aquarius, but it's almost like having to maneuver through a lot of the things that would have defined you. And this is one of those letting go of, wow, I can let go of this construct that defines me or this belief that defines me. Is this making sense to you, Cindy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only because, you know, sometimes does that make sense to you, Farris?
Well, I'm glad you asked her because she can explain it to me.
This is what I'll explain from what you just said. And I want to know if anybody else identifies with this. I see an inner fight with Farris, I always call it the left brain, right brain fight. Mm-hmm. The creative side of him, the side of him that people love to see coming. He's got his fedora hat that he wears. He's got his suspenders. He always has this unique sense of style, and he is known for that. I mean, he is famous for it. And
he's an individual.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
World famous in Nashville, Tennessee for that style. And yet there's the side of him that is militaristic, if that's the right word that I'm using here. Very military correctness. Everything's got to be by the book. And right. Those two are fighting all the time. The left and the right brain are fighting. And I have been saying to him, and I was happy to hear you talk about this, Lorelei, because I've been saying for a while, I would like to see him let go of that too much technology has overly activated that left brain side of him. And I'd like to see his creative side come back and come out to play more.
Well, yeah, and it's almost like though you could feel more in charge of that part of you, like you know, you could be feeling goal oriented, whatever that means. You know, it's like, well, there's the top of my mountain, or this is what, you know, this is, in other words, really owning those qualities that are planning and organizing. That's not Aquarius. Aquarius wants to turn it all upside down. But Capricorn is, here's the order, here's the plan, we do this, and then we do that, just like the mountain goat. We secure our footing, then we take another step up the mountain. So it certainly could be a fight. And of course, the key here is to have it be peaceful. Like it's, again, the both and, like you can be outside the box and ingenious and one of a kind, and you can also be strict and obey certain rules that work for your individuality, you know, that serve being genius. But I mean, you know, Aquarius is the innovator, the inventive, you know, and this could, and see, because at the end of this year, Jupiter goes into Aquarius. So it's almost like you get to move the inner things this year that, you know, where you've judged yourself or anything that, you know, whatever standard, I don't know. But next year, when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, that, you know, then it's really like expanding that, all the, you know, that eccentric, one of a kind, all those Aquarian attributes. So it's like it's like you get to let go of old constructs of your definition of yourself, because you could be, you know, you could feel, not at the moment because it's at the end of a lunar cycle, you'll feel more of this once the moon is new in Aquarius, just because that'll be the new energy. And actually, really, they say the year doesn't start until the first new moon. And that first new moon can come anytime, you know, so because it could be a new moon in Capricorn in early January, but we had the last new moon was December 26th. So this really is the start of a whole new year. So there's an opportunity for you to really marry and bridge both of that they're in service to each other. Like the planner, the organizer, the regimented one in you is in service to the genius, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So what might other people be feeling right now?
Well, a lot of people would be feeling this push-pull between obeying old rules, old authorities, and I have to be me. I have to be an individual, because this Aquarius new moon, and I wrote this in my email for those of you that are on my list, it's dancing in a tension dance with the planet Uranus, the Aquarius planet, one of them, the planet of shock, surprise, revolution, rebellion, eccentricity, all the Aquarian attributes. So what might look like something that happens out of the blue, unexpected surprise, which might appear to initially upset things, but really be in our best interest, like it's almost like where people have maybe unconsciously wanted to make certain inner changes and haven't been able to make them in order to move beyond some definition of self into more authenticity, into more, well, this is who I really am. So there could be some interesting little surprises, or, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen, but wow, that really does help me breathe more. Because, you know, because the moon's in Capricorn right now too. When the moon goes into Aquarius on Friday, there is, again, this breath of fresh air. We just opened a window, we just opened a door, and we're letting in new energy because we're moving out of Earth in terms of the moon into air, which is, of course, Aquarius. So, you know, the Aquarius new moon is always about people communing with people of like mind, and, you know, groups that have a similar interest, and encouraging the individuality in everyone, because that's what Aquarius has come to. It's so interesting because Aquarius is the sign of groups, and often people with prominent Aquarius energy will sort of, you know, back off from groups because they think they have to be a cookie cutter in the group. I have to be like everybody else. But when they get that, wow, I can be part of this group, this energy, whatever it is, and be exactly who I am, be exactly that fingerprint, or as the religious science says, I love this expression for Aquarius, the individualized expression of God, the individualized expression of the divine. We're all an expression of the divine, and Aquarius is about in my own unique way, that's like the wave in the ocean kind of thing. So we all get to draw from that now, but today and tomorrow, the moon's in Capricorn. So here's an opportunity to, again, for all of us, whether we have Capricorn energy or not, to let go of these old constructs, again, old definitions. I should, I have to, I'm obligated, I'm still, Catholicism is still running me, or this is, anything, the military is still running me, even though I'm not in it anymore, or I'm still obeying the rules of parents that aren't here anymore. Why am I doing that? That's not serving who I really am. I mean, it's a challenging time, and it's a really exciting time if we're willing to sort of be open to aligning with those who support this journey, really. And let's see, what else I want to say. Yeah, I mean, again, this whole taking responsibility for our power. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Here's a perfect. So these two planets, Saturn and Pluto, planet of responsibility, Pluto, planet of power, responsibility for power. They come together every 31 to 38 years to dance together. But the last time they came together in Capricorn was in 1517, when Martin Luther left the Catholic Church. So wherever that metaphor applies in your life, like what we're leaving in order to be, and I'm not a big history person, but I mean, I get the sense of that, the abuses of power, well, that's being repeated now. But again, if we don't look at abuse of power in here in order to be responsible and keep focused out there, or, the political state, whatever, there's a real opportunity to take a lesson from that. Like, where do you need to break with something that doesn't feel right, or that feels, I don't know, but I just thought that was amazing that the last time these came together, and Martin Luther was a Scorpio. He was a Pluto. Yeah, he was a Scorpio sun. Yeah, so that's fascinating to me. So wherever that applies, and there may be people that actually are Lutheran, or, again, I don't know, but I mean, again, we can take the lessons from history and give it our spin now. In other words, we don't necessarily need to repeat the same thing, but that kind of is being repeated now when you think about it. I mean, and the Renaissance came right around that time, did it not? I mean, the Reformation, not the Renaissance, which is really what's happening. It's like, well, because again, at the end of this year, Jupiter and Saturn both go into Aquarius. So as I said, there's an amazing, I think, opening of this, being more of each of us being more authentic. Authentic is such a great Aquarian word, and every Aquarian sun, or even people with other characters in Aquarius, but especially the sun sign Aquarians, are one of a kind. They are like a world unto themselves. And when honoring that individuality, it's like getting to be who they are with harm to none kind of thing, But it's interesting, one more thing, and this would fit you too, Farris, since Aquarius has two ruling planets, Saturn, before Uranus was discovered, Saturn and Uranus. So there are very conservative Aquarians, that do military or whatever, or work in corporate, but maybe they have the three holes in their ear, you've got the, you've got the Saturnian Aquarian, and then you've got the Uranian Aquarian, which is the purple hair, the commune, and you're somewhere in between all of that. I'm not sure both of those, in other words, because it's that, I
am not piercing my ears.
No. But what I mean is, it's the honoring the conservative side of Aquarius. I remember having clients that were in corporate that were Aquarians. And I remember this one woman, she wore these suits and all that, but she had three holes in her ear. That was her way of doing her Aquarius thing. So we can all bridge that now. We can all take ourselves more seriously. And what I'm saying is this whole, chief executive officer, you heard me say, I think the chief financial and chief operations, Chief
Mhm.
Energy Officer, Chief Fun Officer, and Chief Opportunity Officer. Like we can all step into treating ourselves like we're a business. Like, what do I need? You know, what do I need to manage my life and to kind of step into being, and I don't, because to me, the chief executive, all that shit intimidates me. I didn't go there, you know? So giving another name that's more playful, like, wow, I'm the chief energy officer of my life and and I'm actually starting to feel that really, really subtly in my life, because we can all really take the reins now with Jupiter in Capricorn and Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn and say, I'm taking myself seriously. This is what's important to me. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to learn. And I'm going to set goals accordingly, you know, or wishes or intentions, whatever people want to call them. But it's a very, very significant time. And the fact that this Aquarius new moon on the 24th really begins the year.
Why don't you go ahead? I know that you've got another call tonight. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about what you have coming
I
up
would love
at the
to.
playground?
So thank you so much, Cindy, for that. I appreciate it. So a little over 2 years ago, when we had that big solar eclipse in Leo that went, you know, across our country, I started Playground for the Soul Circles in my home. And the intention was to marry my skill set as a spiritual astrologer, a counselor, because I got my master's degree in counseling in 2013, and an interviewer from my personnel days, and a minister in an interfaith ministry, to marry those skills to be in service to what I know now that I do is help people get what they want by giving conscious voice to their cast of characters so that all the energy is freed up to go in the direction that they want it to go in. So when I sat down and said, well, what would be important to me in being part of any group as a participant or a facilitator? And I love what happens in groups. My moon is in the Aquarius house of the chart. I love the magic. We've done it so many times here, the transformation that happens in groups. And I thought, what's been important to me in the groups that I've been part of? Radical forgiveness, priestess groups, real love groups, therapy groups. And it's safety, trust, and joy. That's what would be important to me. And the three sort of tenets are, or you know, in tapping into the cosmic weather, the giving oneself 100% permission to be all of who we are, to play full out and to unleash our genius. So every playground offers that, and I harness, like the 2 hours that we're together, that time will never repeat itself. So the playground on the 30th, for instance, is Sun in Aquarius, obviously, Moon in Aries, which is, okay, have the courage to be who you are, and Leo rising, which is why I picked 6 p.m. Eastern time, because I wanted to harness the energy of play, playground for the soul. And the playmates that always come together energetically are amazing, just in terms of, and again, we've done that here as well, that when, you know, the similar energy, oh, isn't that it? So I come to the playground with not much of an agenda. Music is usually part of it, but it's to set the tone for whatever that energy is about, and to intend that in that time frame, people leave with whatever their intention is. There's a request for support. I create a soul pledge, which is the soul pledge is to help people integrate these different parts of us. So if I were creating a soul pledge for you, Farris, just based on the Capricorn Aquarius dichotomy, it might be something like, when I'm true to my innovative, inventive, ingenious nature, I am guided step by step how to scale the mountain of my dreams, something like that, because that would bring in the Capricorn mountain goat and it would bring in the Aquarius energy. So I'm a Libra. I have 3 planets in Libra. My work is about my own integration, which, believe me, is sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's really hard to integrate different parts, but it's really to create peace from within, from without. And we're at peace when we're being who we are, and we're expressing unimpeded, not projecting, not blaming, taking full responsibility, much what we did in the shadow group, you know, for the shadow aspects of each of our characters. You know, instead of projecting those onto somebody else. Oh, I'm not arrogant. I'm not, you know, I'm not manipulative. I'm not whatever. So and I'm excited because, of course, how could I not harness Aquarius to do my first? I did a couple of virtual ones, but that was early on. That's when you participated, Cindy, and I wasn't as comfortable with Zoom. Now Zoom, because of the things we've done, I don't project my fear onto that anymore as much. And so I'm ready. I have a track record now. People have had, magic miracles have come out of the playgrounds, things that they've requested support around. So now I feel my own value more to be able to say, okay, I want to do these. I want to do them every month, and trust again, that the perfect people will be where they're supposed to be, and deal with my own shit around anything that's in the way of that. Pardon my French. So as I said, and each one, of course, I pick it astrologically, because I go, like the one on February 12th is the Libra moon. So I thought that's beautiful for sharing. And this one, of course, I picked also. I wanted it to be in Aquarius. They both in Aquarius season. Yeah. So if anyone's inspired to want to find out more or join me, I'll send the link to you, Cindy. I really appreciate you and Farris being open to helping me do that. Well, so much of it's been seeded here. It's sort of like, okay, now I have the courage to do this Zoom thing.
Yeah, and you've got somebody to call if you screw it up.
Well, I'm going to be calling you before next week, because I already have a couple of questions. And I thought, okay, I can do this. I don't need to. And Farris, I just really want to give you this from my heart to yours. You have been so patient with me, and so, I've never felt judged by what I'm judging as my own stupidity. Oh, what's this old Zoom thing, and the link's not working and the sound's not working, and knowing you and Cindy have been my training ground. You both of you, because I'm real clear when the stuff doesn't work. I'm not saying there's not stuff that happens, but I know it's my fear that I've projected onto the computer or onto the microphone or onto the camera. And so you've just been, every time I've ever asked you to help me, I have always just felt so received. I haven't, it's like I would have to go out of my way to judge myself, because I never felt judgment from you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, really.
It's great. And I'll let you in on a little secret.
Uh-oh.
When we got started tonight, or just as we were about to get started tonight, we couldn't get Cindy's sound to work. And after several tries, we finally found out that it was my speakers, not her sound.
What happens to everybody is what he's saying.
But I'm so aware of it now. I go, there it is. There's my ego, my tricky little ego scaring me by this not working.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of times of my generation too, we're newer to a lot of this, but the people.
Oh yeah, you're so much older than me.
No, I mean you and I, but but I want to say these kids in the 30s and in their 30s and 40s, they're just so much more naturally geared to all of this stuff. So, but again, so anybody on an Aquarius new moon wish list would be to be comfortable with all the technology that will support you doing whatever it is you want to do on any level. So I love you both, and I'm going to need to run. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, it's so wonderful that you're here. I thank you so much for coming and joining in this fun, and much love to you. A big hug, and
we'll talk after talk after the Aquarius lunar cycle.
Okay. All right. And go ahead and email that right away, if you will. Okay. And Farris will put it in the link here.
I sure will.
Right here, so people can get to it.
Happy birthday. These are for you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Want to play with them. Oh, she's gone.
Yep, she's gone. I just love her. Don't y'all just love her?
Yep. Now we can talk about her.
Yep. Now we can talk about her. As you all know, I have been doing, or I think some of you at least know, I have been doing some out-of-body stuff, some astral traveling, and which is new for me. I'm kind of a neophyte when it comes to knowing about and doing it. Though I do it in my dreams all the time, I've never intentionally done this. So it's been really fascinating. And you know, I went to different places at first, and then I ended up at this big arched window that the first day there was a cat next to me, a white kitty, and then other animals started showing up, and so did other people. And I could hear in my mind that this was the world viewing room. And it said it's critical. I was told that it was critical that we all meet there because that is where you learn not to judge what is going on. We cannot move forward until we can view everything that's going on without judgment. I am still there. I am still fighting with it. Let me tell you, every day I'm and anybody else feel that way? So I have to keep going back there, I'm told, until I can go back there without judgment. And there are times, there was a couple of days there where I didn't feel any judgment. I did really well. I did this really long, wonderful meditation before I went to the viewing room, and I stayed there as long as I chose to. And then I came back when I chose to. But anytime that I start judging, I flip right back into my body and I can't stay there. And it's been an amazing experience to do this. And as I said, I'm still very new at this. I'm learning about it, and as I learn, if y'all don't mind, I'll share, if you don't mind, because I would love to be able to become more conscious of this and know a whole lot more about it. So I'll share. And I've been doing more videos lately on Facebook for those of you who are part of our Facebook group. And I've been doing some recipes because I was going to make them for myself anyway, because I've been sick. So I made this wonderful elderberry right here, this elderberry cough, cold, and flu syrup. It is so good, y'all. You find the video, go and try it. It's really, really easy. And it's enough for, you know, a month. I mean, it'll last up to 2 months, really. So it's wonderful. So try that. And then I have some bone broth that I'm going to be sharing with everybody. This is my own recipe. And what makes it different is this is actually a chicken bone broth that I made, but I use different ingredients in it. I put in mushrooms, and I'm going to talk about the 2 different types of mushrooms that I put in it and why I chose them. And oh my gosh, it is so good. So that video, I'm editing it now, and I should have it available on Friday. So look on our Facebook group, and then on our YouTube channel, I'll be sharing that as well. So as I'm making these things up, I hope y'all don't mind. Is it okay that I share these things? You okay with you? Okay. I don't know if y'all are into doing that, but anything that I can make myself where there's no chemicals in it, I prefer. So, you know, I'm the bone broth I've been making for a while, and the elderberry, I've got some other ones that I'm going to be making for the first time, but I'll share them, and I'll share my screw ups too. So it's been a lot of fun doing the videos. The other reason I want to do this is because Farris and I are going to be, we are creating this conscious living center. First, we were calling it a healing center, but it's not just about healing. Of course, it's going to heal. Anytime that we're conscious, that we live consciously, it is very healing. So I really wanted to identify it in the right way. We don't have a name for it. I don't know if we're going to call it energized living. I don't know if we're going to call it soul view. Really, those are the 2 names that we're thinking about. So whatever your input is, I would love to hear from y'all what you think. It's you know, it's exciting and it's frustrating. And what Farris and I, first I'll tell you what's been going on and why you didn't hear about this beforehand, because I wanted to share this for a long time with everybody. But codes, zoning, we've been going through that. And in Williamson County, where we live, in just outside of Nashville, Williamson County is, oh, Michelle lives in Putnam County. So, Williamson County, and they're so strict here. There's a lot of wealth here, a lot of country music people here. So it's just, they're very strict on their zoning. So we've been dealing with that. And then we got our plans done. We thought we were ready to start. We were down to the last, we have 3 different builders that are doing bids on it. And, I was really looking forward to making that decision soon. And then we found out that our lot, which the lot is a deep lot, and it's called a double lot. I never knew why they called it a double lot. Well, what happened was it used to be a grid where a lot of different houses could be built there. And when they made these deeper lots, there was a parcel line down the middle of all of them, and they never removed that. So before we move forward, that parcel line has to be removed because we can't build over top of that parcel line, and it runs right in the middle of our land. So that takes about 2 months to go through that whole process. So they've been out there surveying the last couple of days, and so things will be delayed for a couple of months. But I went to the viewing room on this, and this was one thing that that I did successfully. When I went to the viewing room and I sat there and I viewed our land and our project, I was able to sit there and not judge what's happening, because everything is in divine timing. I don't know why it needed to be postponed, but apparently it did. And I am good with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. And so it's delayed a couple of more months. It gives us more time to plan. We are still going through boxes. If you saw the floor in back of me, you would see all these boxes that I've got on the floor that I'm unpacking and going through and giving stuff away. My kitchen downstairs, I've got a room filled with boxes that we're going through. Farris has got boxes packed all over the place, because they can't tear down the house till he's out of there anyway. So we are going to be living in the house, and we're going to be having these events here. So what we are going to do, what we wanted to do initially is have a store there, and we may be able to sell some things there. I don't know, but I really wanted to be able to have crystals there, and I wanted to have some things that people always look for, and some really high quality things like that. But because of zoning, we can't really have a store. But at our workshops, I'm going to try and have some things available, because people always ask for those things. So we're going to try and have some things available there, and we'll just have to do it. We won't be able to advertise it, but just know that they'll be there when we have the workshops. And we're going to do 4 primary ones during the year, and then we'll have some other small ones throughout the year as well. We've already invited BJ to do one, and Lorelei, of course. Lorelei is going to be doing one, and we'll let y'all know as the time comes, but it'll be well into the fall, if not the winter, before we're in the new place. So I want to show you what it looks like. Y'all want to see it? Because Mr. Farris has the drawings. All of the drawings are done.
Hold on just
had
1 second.
this. What is that?
I said, hold on just 1 second, and it will be
Okay.
here.
All right.
Come on. There we go.
Okay. And this is that. So I'll be able to expand what I have here, because I don't have a lot of sunlight where I live now either. So I just love this. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you how excited I am. And Farris, you want to go to your little apartment? Nope.
Here?
Yeah. We can't see it. Can you move it over at all, or it won't let you?
What do you mean you can't see it? It's
Okay, there you go. Well, I guess everybody's picture's in the way on the side over here.
Oh.
If I can move their pictures.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
move.
yeah, I can move them to the other side. There you go. this is actually, I drew this. This is my drawing here. And then I sent it to the guy that drew up the formal plans. And he said, he contacted me in one of the, let me back up a little more.
House.
The house in the back, the Farris, what's it called? and they love seeing what it has become. He probably won't let anybody in there because
It's his.
well, he's a slob.
Oh,
I'll just
like I said, it's his.
It's true.
It's okay.
To keep it where it is. There is something I wanted to show you guys if I can find it from my sister. This just said so much to me if I can. And I think everybody can express this. Let me see if I can open this. Come on, open up. It's not letting me open it. How do you open up something on your phone? I'm going to see. It won't get bigger for some reason.
You have to click it twice. Well, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
All right. Put on the bottom. Well, Farris, you're the one, not me.
You get an Android.
Ha ha ha.
All right, just go to the bottom on the, the button at the bottom and just click that twice.
Yeah, I'm to it.
Okay, can you expand it with your fingers?
It's not letting me
Oh, okay.
for some reason. So I'll just do the best.
Come out of it and go back in.
Got it. I don't know if everybody can see this.
Oh, yeah.
And when my sister sent that to me, I thought, oh my gosh, that's how I feel, is that expansiveness. We don't.
Not the other one.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine either one of the other ones.
No,
definitely not.
With them, it would have been religion and hell.
Religion and religion.
There you go. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Anything else? Any other comments? Anybody?
Nope.
No. Okay. Any comments that we wanted to read, Farris? I can't see it because.
No, that's just what I said. Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody raising their hand?
Everybody wants to see the herb garden.
Well, I've got my herb garden downstairs and it's inside right now, but it's very small because I don't have the room for it here. But the new one, yeah, it's going to be.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
One of the things as you are having classes or whatever, I would love to see something where you can put together using the herbs and all the healthy things that we have to work with that were not necessary. A lot of people can't go to the store and afford to buy organic. And I know that certain things I do can help not change, but in a way change the vibration of something so that it is on the same level of being organic and safe to eat. It's clean. It's and I'd like to see something like that, classes like that for people. I know there's a lot of my new friends here in South Carolina that are just asking, what do you mean? How do you do that? We do a lot of our own foods, but there's still all this fertilizer, there's this other stuff. How can we turn this? And we can't afford to buy organic this or organic that. So
yeah, and that's the whole purpose of the garden, so that we can continue to eat. I mean, when I made all of my decoctions and everything came, or as much as I could, came from my own garden. Yeah. But if it doesn't, and you have something that you have to get at the store and you're wondering about it says organic, and you kind of go, I don't know, put it by your living plants. put it next to your other living plants before you use it.
Yeah.
And just let it absorb that energy, and you will see it even respond. There are times, and because it's a cut, like I don't grow cilantro because it never grows for me. Don't know why. That's the one thing that eludes me. And I will put it next to my living plants before I use it, and you can see it moving. You can literally, even though it's
I
cut,
don't doubt that.
you can
Yeah.
see it moving towards the other ones. By the end of the day, it'll be completely moved over like this towards my other plants. So that's one suggestion if it's something that you have to buy.
Oh, that's beautiful because
Yeah, because it picks up that energy.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really see this as being such a learning center for people. For a lot of all the beautiful stuff, you know, so.
Well, herbs are one of my favorite. That's my, like Farris says, he doesn't shoot just for the fun of it. I do this just for the fun of it because I think it's fun. But then I also am good with, you know, creating things and sharing recipes and showing what constituents a plant has in it and what's good for you and why it is, you know. People ask me all the time, if I could only grow one herb, what would it be? Lemon balm. That's what I would say. Lemon balm, you know, lemongrass, lemon balm, lemongrass, you know, two wonderful things. So there's always rooms for something.
Yeah, see, and something that simple, one thing that you can really help somebody by just that one response. Oh, what would you grow? Lemongrass.
Yep.
There are people out here who are trying so hard to add some safety to what they're eating and what they're adding to their plants and stuff, or to their meals and stuff. And I just think it's really important to be able to pass that kind of knowledge on. Because you're an expert at it. I mean, I love watching all of your things that you've put out about your herbs and how to save them and how to keep them. And I mean, it's not stuff that everyone knows. So these are the kind of things that are simple maybe, but very important to helping us keep healthier. So thank you.
Thank you. Like I said, I love doing it. So I've got 2 more that I've already shot, and then I'm doing voiceover stuff with it. It's easier just to shoot it because then I don't, because I'm doing it myself, and then I do the voiceover afterwards, because trying to talk and do it at the same time, you get, it's hard. So any other questions, comments, anybody? Well, for all of you Aquarians out there, if you are on YouTube, Farris, do we have any questions on YouTube? I didn't think to ask. No? Okay. If you have any questions, please put them below, and we will read them, get back to them. And we are excited to have, you know, a lot of new people on YouTube joining us. We're going to start really doing this more. We've been in a holding pattern for a while, and you know, sometimes when you kind of have to move back in life and just kind of you get into a holding pattern for a while, that's when your biggest growth happens.
Yes.
And I feel that for us. I feel that we have some really huge things coming that we needed to just allow the space for. And so if that's happening in your life, no, just allow the space, and everything will work out as it's supposed to. I just believe that. So Farris, birthday boy?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you want to?
No, Kathy was Kathy was just saying that she saw one of the weddings that I photographed and liked it. And I was telling her.
Oh, beautiful.
That's something I've not heard very often. Anyway, I mean, other than from the people that I photographed at the wedding. Anyway, thank you all for coming to my birthday party.
Thank you.
And y'all's birthday party too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Birthday.
We got a few things that are similar. Farris, but I can't imagine what they'd be.
Yeah.
That's well, look at that baby. Look at that sweet baby. My sweet baby, my little
Look
girl.
at that sweet baby.
Yep.
He's something. 17 and a half years old.
Wow, and he's doing good.
He's doing good.
That's great. That is such a blessing.
Even after a few scares.
Scared him, and actually it didn't scare him at all. He just flat out said, "Don't do anything more to me. I'm fine." I went, okay.
All right. That's great.
All right, we'll keep talking all night otherwise.